So this is a tutorial on how I make sublimation eyes and just eyes in general. Alright, so with your printer with the sublimation ink and paper, you're going to print out the design of your eyes to a size that you actually want them on your fursuit. You're also going to print a sheet of black for the back of the mesh. Once you printed it out, you're going to cut out the eye shape, and you're going to leave a little bit around the eye, just for preference, but I find it makes it a lot easier for when cutting out the mesh. And then using that cutout eye, I just cut out how much I need for the back. And same thing goes for cutting out the mesh, but for the mesh there is a smooth side and a rough side, and you want to make sure that the smooth side is the drawing of your eye and the rough side is for the black side. At the end you're going to sandwich the three pieces. You're going to do black, mesh, and then the color side, and the ink part has to be facing towards the mesh. So now we're going to heat press it. You're going to have to take this sheet and put it on top of your layers, and here you're going to do 350 for 30 seconds, and you're going to put a bit of pressure on it, like just putting your body weight on it. You don't want to push super hard, but you also don't want to be a little bit light on it, because if you're too light, then it doesn't fully go into the mesh. When that's done, I like to fan it because it's going to be really hot, and it does smell a lot like burning plastic and stuff like that, so I recommend fanning it a lot and just be careful. So when it's cooled down, you can peel it off of the plastic, but as you can see here, the ink actually didn't go fully onto it, so at least the color side came out perfect. You want that paper to be stuck. That means the ink is good. So if you do see some spotchy areas, I just go back with the heat press and I do it for like 10 seconds until it looks good. I'm putting pressure on that side, obviously, trying to get the ink onto it. Alright, to get those little pieces of paper, you're going to take a damp paper towel and you're just going to scrub onto it, and it should come off with the wetness of it. This one took a bit, but as you can see, I just peel it off and wipe it, and it looks perfectly fine. I do it on both sides just to make sure that nothing comes off, even though it is sublimation ink. Alright, so now I'm actually going to make the eyes. So I cut off the excess because I wanted my eye to be exactly the shape that I printed it out in. For this part, I do a 2.5 centimeter thick strip of either plastic, but you can also use very thin foam. I'll put on the screen which ones you can buy that I recommend. And this is for the outside of the eye, so you can get that little depth. So when I glue this onto the mesh, I do this kind of weirdly. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to explain how I do this, but I take the strip and I use pieces of tape as like kind of like a guide or like a helping thing, and then I add glue between the spaces, because if you put a lot of glue onto the mesh, it will go through, and I have a very hard time trying not to do that, and I find this is the most effective way. But basically I'm putting the mesh under the plastic, and because the plastic is super thin, it's kind of difficult and it just takes a lot of patience, so I'm just gonna speed the video up and let you guys watch because I'm not sure how to explain it. When there's a corner, I like to bend the plastic a bit just to help with the corner, because it's pretty difficult if you're going to try to do it without bending the plastic first. So the reason why I cut out 3 strips is because I know the first one is going to be way too short for the eye. So this is how I glue them together. I add a little piece of tape, and then I use that tape to keep it flat, and then I add hot glue. Same thing kind of goes for the end of the eye as well. I put a piece of tape, and then I line it all up, and then I just hot glue it together. And now the eye is done, and you just repeat that for the other eye, and then you're complete.